present another broadcast in our Radio on the Air Science Fiction Theater series. This time we bring you the world premiere of 2 original radio dramas created at our second Rhoda scriptwriting workshop during the summer of 2015. The first feature in our Dimension X broadcast tonight is Decision at Los Alamos.
There are 2 great things about Dutch Masters cigars. One is the cigars they make, and the other is the consistent assurance of quality you get with Dutch Masters. The fine cigar. So why not step up to the smoking pleasure of a fine cigar? Dutch Masters President, the more generous 15-cent cigar. Made with tobaccos that are married for mildness and flavor. The very finest Caribbean Basin Cuban seed tobacco grown in Puerto Rico and machine rolled to smoking perfection. Step up to Dutch Masters and smile, brother, smile. And remember, President, Corona, Perfecto, Panatella, or Cigarillo, Dutch Masters can't be beat. From the G.H. Johnson Cigar Company, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And now, Decision at Los Alamos. Adventures in time and space, told in the future tense.
Dimension X, 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 X.
Can you predict the future? Can you tell what will happen in 100 years? Or in 10? Or in the next minute? Can you look beyond the known dimensions of time and space into the unknown Dimension X? Tonight we bring you a tale of heightened awareness and altered ambitions at a top-secret laboratory. The date is September 29th, 1944. Dawn is breaking over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in northern New Mexico. As yet there are no vehicles approaching the Los Alamos main gate. But suddenly, a solitary figure appears, silhouetted against the sunrise, and is seen approaching the gate. Immediately, the guard on duty alerts his superior.
Sarge, there's somebody approaching on foot. Looks like a woman. She's in a long robe, and she's just walking right down the center line.
What? I don't like it. Order her to halt.
Halt! Stand fast and identify yourself. This is a secure federal facility. How'd she breach our perimeter, Sarge? I mean, nobody can come within 1,000 yards of
Stow it, soldier. She's not responding. Shoulder your weapon. Prepare to fire warning rounds.
Sarge, I can see the woman now through my rifle sight. She's carrying a wooden staff and holding up a lantern.
I don't like it one bit. Give me that damn bullhorn. Halt! Do you understand? Comprende?
She's still coming, Sarge. She's barefoot and an old woman. She's just a...
Well, she'll damn well understand a warning shot. Fire one past her head, Corporal.
She's not even slowing down.
This is a secure facility. Halt now, or you will be fired upon.
No good, Sarge.
We can't make exceptions for a woman. Shoot to kill, Corporal. That's an order.
What the hell? She's still coming, Sarge. I can't believe I missed.
Aim, damn it, and shoot again.
Nothing. I don't get it, Sarge. It's impossible. But she's still coming.
You may as well put down your toys, boys. How fortunate, Corporal Lonigan, that you are such a lousy shot.
I couldn't have...
You will speak only to me, lady. Who the hell are you and what are you doing here?
Fortunate indeed, I tell you, killing an unarmed old woman. You would have been tormented by nightmares the rest of your life.
I had my orders.
Quiet, Corporal.
Orders. Here, Hitler could use a man like you, a man who could be ordered to shoot the innocent.
I'll shoot you myself if you make one false move, and I won't miss. Now, put down that damn lantern.
Then however am I to see in this place of great darkness?
Present your identification now.
Identification. You may call me Diogenes. God knows I've been called worse. Now, kindly telephone Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer and tell him an old friend has come to visit.
You're crazier than you look, old woman. You can't just walk in here and see Dr. Oppenheimer.
Go ahead now, make the call. I dare say my visit will not catch him fully off guard.
Meanwhile, in Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer's office, Dr. Edward Teller is not a happy scientist.
You know we only have enough of the isotope for one bomb, Teller, and we need to save it for war.
But what if the plutonium doesn't work? We won't have proved anything about the viability of the 235. We are in no position to be wasting time.
Time, yes. Roosevelt and Stimson are indeed champing at the bit.
Politicians, bah! Simple, they think, for an army of scientists and $2 billion to unlock the nature's greatest secret. Ha! Just like that. Like baking on cake. Have you explained to Dr. Simpson there are 3 possible outcomes here? Maybe success, maybe a fizzle, a puddle of molten lead, or the third outcome perhaps, the unsinkable one, a self-sustained nuclear chain reaction which is unstoppable. All of us, mere particles of matter, hurtling toward Neptune at the speed of light.
Calm down, Edward. The science is quite solid, and Dr. Einstein himself conjectures that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Bah, what does this Manhattan Project of ours have to show for itself? After 5 years? Nothing.
Come now, Teller. You exaggerate. Surely there's more to this than you might think.
You think so? Look, Oppenheimer. There is the ticking clock here. Ticky-tock, ticky-tock. One more delay. One more setback. And we might as well give this place back to the coyotes and go home.
Just 2 hours later, Dr. Oppenheimer's secretary receives an unexpected call.
Dr. Oppenheimer's office? Yes, Carol. Yes. Yes, I see. Just a moment. That was General Groves' office, sir. Security Officer Major Milestone is sending up a Master Sergeant Jenkins to see you. He says it's urgent, and he's bringing a prisoner with him. A prisoner who claims to know you, sir.
Prisoner?
Apparently, Sergeant Jenkins will explain when he gets here.
That's highly irregular. Close the door and buzz me when they get here.
Yes, sir?
Bzzz.
Yes, Jennifer?
Sergeant Jenkins is here to see you, sir, with his prisoner. She looks like some nutty woman who collects stray cats.
Send them in, Jennifer. Thank you.
Excuse me, Doctor. Major Milestone sent me. We've captured an intruder here at the main gate. She calls herself Diogenes and claims you're expecting her, sir. Should I bring her in?
Greetings, Dr. Oppenheimer.
Good heavens! It's the woman from my dream. My dream last night, but who... You call yourself Diogenes.
You like that name? It suits the occasion, I think. You'd have a hard time wrapping your tongue around my true name, I'm afraid. I come to see you from very far away.
Diogenes, the Greek wanderer, who spent his life searching for an honest man?
Not much luck, as I recall. And he wasn't even in a bad neighborhood.
I see. Well, yes. Here, Diogenes, have a seat. That will be good, Sergeant. You can remove the handcuffs. She appears harmless enough.
I've made fresh coffee, Dr. Oppenheimer, and the palmiers have just arrived, still warm from the oven.
Our guest will surely indulge, given her very long journey.
Thank you so much, dear heart.
You're very welcome, madam.
Oh, call me Diogenes, please. Splendid coffee.
Dr. Oppenheimer imports the beans himself from Borneo or Timbuktu.
Sumatra, actually.
That's not all. He roasts them himself. He does just across the way in the astrophysics lab. And Dr. Hirschfelder's carbonated adenoid furnace.
Actinoid furnace.
Where they cook up isotopes or something.
Jennifer, would you just
And my good Lord in heaven, the palmiers. Would you believe that Dr. Szilard brought his own pastry chef straight from Paris? I swear, fresh out of the oven, you'll never want to look at another jelly donut ever again.
That will be all, Jennifer. Thank you.
Yes, sir. But I simply must see how Madame Diogenes likes the palmiers.
Oh, Jennifer, my dear, I would see the human race spared from destruction for the sake of these exquisite pastries. And for the sake of Mozart's Mass in C minor as well, of course.
Oh, a reminder, sir. You wanted to go over Mr. Roosevelt's decision points before your meeting with Dr. Van Neumann at 1?
Splendid, Jennifer. Please, close the door after you. Let's see now. Where were we? Yes. Now, if I'm hearing you right, you've come a great distance to pass yourself off as Diogenes? For what? To search for an honest man?
Not quite, Doctor. Another quality, perhaps.
Why do I get the feeling you're here to pass judgment on me?
Judgment? Oh, no. To be judge is also to be executioner. I am an itinerant monk, not a firing squad.
Monk?
Perhaps you recall your Bhagavad Gita? The moment when Vishnu displays himself as the great thousand-armed god and proclaims
to mankind, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Of course, I'm quite familiar with the Gita, and don't think those words haven't occurred to me from time to time here in this place.
You believe, then, that your true purpose here is to wreak untold devastation on your own world?
In my dream last night, you said that you came from a place. Quite another place in both time and space, I believe. Another quantum probability world, did you call it?
Yes, indeed, Doctor.
And that you came to warn us that our own quantum world is on a course to extinction.
Do you not feel this in the depths of your soul?
You are hoping somehow to change all this for the better.
I come to sound a trumpet. If you continue to rap on doors where you have no proper business, deaf to the voice of your conscience, you will unleash monstrosities that will annihilate your entire human race.
You're accusing me of rolling dice with the survival of all mankind?
No more palmiers, no more Mozart, no more generations to follow. Yeah, that about sums it up.
We're in the midst of a war. Surely you appreciate...
War is no excuse. War is no excuse for inhumanity, ever.
But...
War does not justify men becoming beasts.
Now, wait a minute. You can't just come in here and...
I come and I go as I must. You and your colleagues are driven by egoistic passion to bring forth a great scientific breakthrough. This is not so.
Well... Yes, of course.
Well, you will rip the lid from Pandora's box to accomplish your mission?
I don't follow your train of thought.
You have no conception of the terrible chain reaction of events you are about to unloose.
You intend to stop me.
What would be the point? Another glory hound would just take your place. No, I have come to start a chain reaction of another sort entirely.
What are you talking about?
Listen to your inner voice, Doctor, and you will understand.
I'm trying to follow. You seem to imply that you can see into the future.
Future? There is no future, and no past either. Only the eternal present.
But you are predicting the...
From a drop of water, my friend, one may infer the ocean. From a speck of sand, one may infer the stars.
Infer? Do I have some strange fever? I don't believe you're real.
You require proof, then, that my warning is real? Let me suggest that you place a call to your friend Dr. Allison at the Hanford Nuclear Reservation in Washington State.
Hanford? Sam Allison?
He will tell you that earlier this morning the B reactor was shut down routinely after a successful full-power test at 400 kilowatts.
But how could you know?
However, 2 hours later, as the scientists were popping their champagne corks and clapping themselves on the back, the B reactor spontaneously restarted itself.
What?
Without anyone touching its rods or the heavy water surrounding them.
Why, that's impossible.
It will later be concluded that the cause was a sort of neutron poisoning from an unanticipated buildup of transient xenon-135 and samarium-149. Make the call, Dr. Oppenheimer. Make the call. Leave Pandora's box alone.
What the? Oh, God. Where did she go? What's happening here? Am I losing my mind? Jennifer, connect me with Hanford Bracket Node 2712J immediately, and get Dr. Allison on the line.
Certainly, Doctor.
Neutron poisoning. What in the world could she be talking about?
Dr. Allison is on the line, sir.
Yes, Sam, is there something going on up there with that B reactor?
Well, Robert, the damn thing just happened. Apparently it just started up all by... Wait, I was just picking up the phone to call you. It's right here in my hand. How could you know? Wait a minute. What do you know?
To ease tensions among an increasingly stressed workforce, General Leslie Groves, military head of the Los Alamos Project, has invited the senior scientific team to his home for cocktails. A group of physicists are making small talk about radiation.
Dr. Rothblatt, can you spare a moment? You know Dr. Fermi, of course, and von Neumann and Hirschfelder. Everyone, this is Dr. Joseph Rothblatt, who has, I believe, done extensive research on the subject of radiation.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Doctor.
Hello. Nice
The
to meet
question
you.
under discussion is radar radiation released by a bomb. Could it be detrimental?
See, your views, Dr. Rothblatt.
As to that, my views are quite firm, gentlemen. You may recall American Journal of Clinical Medicine touting the virtues of radioactivity to retard aging, to rouse noble emotions, and to recreate a splendid youthful life.
And even to prevent insanity?
Yeah, Dormid, the radioactive toothpaste, and Revigorator, radium water jars for the home, the countless radium-infused salves, beauty creams, earplugs, chocolate bars, suppositories, and even contraceptives.
And was there not a golfing champion?
You mean Eben Byers, yeah? He endlessly touted the rejuvenating effects of William Bailey's Radiothor tonic. For 3 years he gushed with praise, until the abscesses formed and his jawbone disintegrated and fell away. And then, of course, there were the radium girls who painted the glowing dials on those thousands of watches and their horrible disfiguring deaths.
Surely, any exposure would be far shorter in the case of an explosive device.
Shorter, but so much more of it, yeah. It's a blast burns away the flesh, and then it is not the question of long-term exposure.
Now you mention it, that reminds me of a most strange dream I had just a few nights ago. An eerie light illuminated the land, and all the people and all the animals developed hideous deformities.
Per carita, you are not alone in troubled dreams, il mio amico. Only this past night I dreamed of plucking a pomegranate, and as I began to rip it open, out comes a serpent, a cobra with its hood spread wide. Mi Fakagari glowering over me like an evil mushroom come to life. Mia Mowgli, my wife, she doused me with water to bring me awake.
Strange things happen in the dark chambers of the mind. When we allow ourselves to grow too weary, these things happen. And we are overstressed. Any wonder that these fantasies, these hallucinations. And now Dr. Bloodblatt presents us with yet a new nightmare, that our jaws will fall off. Dankeschön, Dr. Bloodblatt.
Thanks a lot. Golly.
All I wish to say, gentlemen, is that radiation is indeed a thing we must consider seriously.
Ah, yes, your worries. And what do you hear of your wife, Tola? Your efforts to get her out of Warsaw?
I thank you that you remember her, Doctor. We have many friends back in Poland who do all they can, but we have heard nothing new.
Indeed, we all sympathize with you, Rotblatt. But be patient. There are ways. There are ways. Glad you could make it, gentlemen. Drink up, everybody. Drink to the health of our fighting men everywhere. To our success. To us handling Mr. Roosevelt the biggest damn stick in the playground.
General Groves, sir, do you have a moment, please, to perhaps resolve this agreement?
It's my job, Doctor. I'm in the business of receiving disagreement and resolving it. And Nazis and Japs are my specialty. Let me top off your glass. Well, now, let me tell you this, my friend. Life is all about ass. Either you're licking it or you're kicking it.
It has been said, sir, that if our project is successful, 1 million lives, American and Japanese, will be spared by avoiding a land invasion. Is this not a great exaggeration?
I don't know who you've been talking to, Roadblock, but I tell you this. This project hasn't a damn thing to do with Japan. It's all about nothing other than subduing the Russians. This bomb is going to make Stalin shit a Bolshevik brick.
The following morning, General Groves arrives for his weekly round of golf at the rudimentary course located near the lab. He is not a happy general. His golf buddy is canceled, and his usual caddy has been replaced by an old woman. A rather strange old woman with an odd, unkempt look about her.
Hey, woman, you must be one of the locals. Hopi? Zuni? Not Comanche, I hope.
I have been likened to the ghost of Geronimo. Not to mention the rock in Alexander's shoe and the bile in Napoleon's wine.
I don't care if you're the flea of Hutler's mustache, as long as you can carry a bag of clubs and spot rattlesnakes.
A great general like you afraid of rattlesnakes?
Afraid? Hell no. You spot 'em and I'll chop their heads off with my 9-iron, Sig Heil. The best thing about ending this war is getting back to some decent golf in this country.
Spoken like a mighty warrior.
Damn, you are an old duck. You know, you could stand to get yourself tidied up a bit.
Yes, and you could stand to drop 50 pounds.
Hey, Hook, that's general to you, lady. Here, just set me up. My belt's getting too tight for me to put the ball on the damn tee.
Do you find me rude? Maybe by the 5th or 6th hole you'll get used to it, mighty general.
By God, we'll see about that.
Fuck!
Straight as an arrow, look at that. Now there's a thing of beauty. damn shame there's no money riding on it. I'm feeling invincible today. That damn cloud better not open up, or I'll have those clowns from weather services up on charges.
General Groves, may I ask if you've ever considered what all your scientists might be creating if they were not working on your project?
Hold on, what the hell do you know about any project? That's classified.
I know that your people have been cherry-picked from dozens of other important scientific research programs. Have you considered what is being lost by gutting all these projects, only to ignite a race to build ever more deadly bombs?
You're a goddamn impertinent hag for a caddy. Where are you hearing this ridiculous scuttlebutt? Race? Bombs? You'd better keep your trap shut, old woman.
You are so proud of your security, General. But what if I told you that the Soviets have already infiltrated your Manhattan Project?
What the hell you talking about, sister? I'll have you strung up for lying. Who are you anyway? What happened to my regular caddy? I'm placing you under arrest.
You would find that rather difficult, I'm afraid. You would arrest your own conscience. Try if you please, but I will always be here to trouble your mind.
Nobody talks to me like that. Look here, you damnable thundercloud. You better not rain on me. You big, ugly son of a bitch. That's a direct order.
The Polish physicist Joseph Rotblat has arrived home after a long, grueling day's work at Los Alamos Laboratory and has fallen asleep in his chair. He lives with his sister Marika and her daughter Nadia.
Time comes to the Lone Ranger. I will wake Uncle Yosef.
Let him sleep, Nadia. My brother, he works so hard, he needs rest.
It is his favorite, the Lone Ranger. Can we have ice cream now, Marika? Uncle Yosef. Uncle Yosef, wake up!
What?
What? What did you say? Oh, Uncle Yosef, wake up! The Lone Ranger, he talks to you.
Here's your ice cream. Keep the radio on. Leave your uncle to sleep if he wants.
What? Is already started my program?
The Lone Ranger, Uncle Yosef, he talks to you.
Look, Babushu, you drip ice cream on the rug. Get a towel. Here, you come into kitchen with me and let Uncle Yosef alone. I go turn radio off, brother, to make quiet for you.
No. Turn it up. I never miss this program. Wait, what was that?
Tomorrow's the big showdown, amigo. This could be my last night under the stars here, watching the mesquite fire burn down to coals. How'd it come to this? You got any ideas, Joseph?
Ideas? Did he say Joseph?
I'll tell you, Joe. This frontier, you know the story. Settlers came for the opportunity, for the freedom, tried to live in peace with our Indian brothers, but others followed, hungry for power and wealth. The common rancher, well, he found himself in a range war, and who stood up for him? Nobody.
A range war?
So then, well, I put on this mask, and Tonto and I, we've done what we could. Sound familiar, Joseph? Easy there, Silver. Settle down. And I ask you, if you were in my place, wouldn't you do the same?
Me? You are asking me?
You're Joseph Rotblat, right?
Am I in a dream?
We're all in a dream, compadre. Little by little, we wake ourselves up.
You wish to know would I do the same? Put on mask and shoot silver bullets? I am Polish physicist, not hero.
You're my hero, Uncle Yosef. You want a bite of ice cream? You want a bite of ice cream, Mr. Lone Ranger?
Thank you, child. I've got my tin of coffee here. You know, Joseph, if no man stands up for what's right, then what hope is there for any of us?
But you are special. I could never...
I'm no more special than you. I'm quaking in my boots over what's coming there in town tomorrow. But if power and greed become the new code of the West, then this dream of ours becomes a nightmare. You see it too, don't you, Joseph?
But I cannot prevail over powerful
Well,
men.
now, see, that's just the thing. You yourself have seen your own homeland gripped by evil.
You know about my homeland, my sweet Poland?
Because people turned their heads away, chose not to look at what was happening, and just kept to themselves until it was too late.
That is true, Lone Ranger. But you can see what goes on in Poland?
Oh, heck fire, Joseph. I see the stars overhead and everything underneath them.
Then may I ask you, my wife Tola, we have done everything to get her out. What else can we do? I will do anything.
Really sorry to have to tell you this, my friend. Your wife Tola could not escape Poland. She's now in the Madonic concentration camp. A terrible place that she will never leave.
The phones have been ringing off the hook all day in General Groves' office over the unexplained incident at Hanford. But now, as evening approaches, things have finally died down.
General Groves' office? The War Department? Oh, yes, I'll get him on the line. General, it's Secretary Stimson.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
General, I briefed the president about Hanford, but he's not changed his priorities. He and Burns are still pressing for a firm date for testing the device.
Burns, why in hell is the Secretary of State putting into... Secretary of goddamn State. We're looking 6 months out here if all the teams get their work done.
They want a date, General, and sooner the better than later.
Does he have any concept that this is the most complex scientific project ever attempted in the history of mankind?
He gets it. We all get it. This war just might be over before we get a chance to light this thing off. Listen up. Stalin's got his eye on Manchuria. Our intelligence says the man's mobilizing 1 million troops on the Manchu border.
Manchuria? Wait, you mean Russia is about to declare their own war on Japan?
Damn straight. And the timing, hell man, it couldn't be worse. So we need to make an impression on Stalin, and we need to do it soon.
Before Uncle Joe can throw a giant monkey wrench in the works?
That means you, Leslie. Nothing better to impress the man than to erase an entire city in a single flash.
You better be leaving some cities untouched for us.
We fenced off a few. Kokura, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Kyoto.
How about Tokyo?
Sorry, we got special plans on board for Tokyo.
There's something else going on, something you're not telling me.
Well, you may as well know. We intercepted a message from Emperor Hirohito, asking the Ruskies of all things to intercede to help negotiate a peace. But you damn well keep that under your flat hat, General. On top of everything else, we don't need your scientists suddenly having second thoughts, like getting the idea that the damn diplomats might just end this thing all of a sudden.
What terms does the Emperor want?
He demands that Japan must survive with honor as a nation, and of course that his monarchy must survive as well. And there's some gobbledygook in there about cranes.
Cranes?
Yeah, like the bird. At first we thought it was an encryption error. Anyway, we're still working on it. Something to do with the Emperor's way of saving face with his people by speaking in the voice of Crane or some such nonsense. But I'm pounding the table for his unconditional surrender, nothing less. Mr. Roosevelt can't afford to look like a jellyfish right now. Not to Stalin, and not after Pearl Harbor, goddammit. The American people would never stand for it.
Absolutely not, Mr. Secretary.
So you, get that damn firecracker of yours operational. Do you hear me?
Senior physicists Drs. Edward Teller and James Chadwick are deep in discussion as they walk along a mesa top near Los Alamos. Passing through ancient Indian ruins, they are failing to appreciate the colorful vistas of the Rio Grande River Valley below.
Look there, Edward. These bloody ruins. These settlements might as easily have been flattened by a great bomb as by great age. Still, there's an undeniable presence here that could almost make a man believe in ghosts.
Ach, du Liebe, you talk too much of ghosts.
I dare say we are disturbing that fellow's peace.
Ravens, I detest them.
I quite like them myself. Look, Teller, about this meeting at 3 o'clock in the General's office. Oppenheimer's bound to bring up this apparition we've been seeing.
Bah, this Diogenes is unfake. And worse, a saboteur.
I can tell you that Oppie was very impressed with what this woman has to say, Edward, and with what she seems to know. Her knowledge is damned uncanny.
Ridiculous, Chadwick. That bitch has something to do with that damn Hanford reactor craziness.
Look, I've spoken with the others, who have all had the same strange visitations in their dreams or in other guises. Feynman, Rossi, von Neumann, Rotblatt, and we all agree this woman is real.
Pah! Nincompoops, devil worshippers.
Well, whatever she is, Diogenes knows more and understands our mission, our whole project, better than any of us. This is not your dime store spy, Teller.
Nonsense. Do you think she is God?
Well, she is rather like a demigod.
Pah, this is not one of Fermi's Italian operas. We are at war, and we just might be losing it.
None of us is unaware of that, Edward.
Hocus pocus saboteur springs up in our meats. And what do? Fall prostrate at her damned feet. Dump coffin. Even the raven, he scoffs. Or I suppose you see an omen there? We should not be in this place of the dead.
I often come here to order my thoughts, and I wanted your views, Edward. I respect you as a sensible man.
Then listen, damn it. You know how we all work, 16, 20 hours, often no sleep at all. People begin to dream nonsense and succumb to the power of suggestion. It is mass hysteria, Chadwick. Mass hysteria.
Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer stands at the head of General Groves's conference table. Ashtrays are everywhere, and the air hangs thick with cigarette smoke.
Come to order, gentlemen. Let's get started.
What's going on?
Now. General Groves and I have called this special meeting of the governing board to, well, let me get straight to the point. We have all recently experienced certain visitations. Perhaps you would prefer apparitions, but in any case, they're of the same person, this woman who calls herself Diogenes.
What? Hey, come on, what is this all about?
But now, General Groves will bring everyone up to date.
Yes. Give me a light there, Corporal. First, I want to thank you all for coming. I know you're all busy, very busy. Last Tuesday morning at dawn, 2 sentries spotted a mirage advancing toward them at the main gate.
Greetings, gentlemen.
What?
Carita, that's her.
Bugger a buzzard. That's my caddy. How did that woman get in here? She has no badge, no identification?
I say, what's that she's got? By Godfrey, it's a dead goose. Plucked and all.
Pardon me, General, but since you've convened this meeting to discuss me, I assume I'm allowed to drop in?
What's happened to the security around here? Corporal, keep your weapon on that woman.
Gentlemen, I must warn you, Diogenes may not be subject to the same laws of nature as the rest of us. Perhaps we'd best hear her out.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
We meet again, Diogenes. You first arrived bearing a lantern. This time you bring us a goose.
Yes, Doctor, plucked and gutted. Gentlemen, may I present to you Emperor Hirohito? And my question to you today is, just how many megatons of TNT do you find it necessary to stuff up his tuchus?
My word!
Wait now. Who the hell are you, lady?
May I say, General Groves, that I hail from a higher age.
A higher what? The future? Another time or place? Mi Vakagari, how is that possible?
Ah, Dr. Fermi, does not your own Professor Einstein advise that time and space are fluid?
Whatever the explanation, why do you come here and taunt us?
Not to taunt, Dr. Fermi, to appeal, to strive to awaken each scientist who labors at this Manhattan project of yours, this atom bomb.
Now look here, Diogenes. You've claimed disastrous prospects for all of our efforts. But what evidence do you offer? We are, after all, men of science. We deal in facts. Without facts, how can we know the truth?
Ah, truth, you say. How ironic that the very truths you seek lie far beyond your precious ability to grasp them.
Double talk. You give us double talk.
Then I shall speak as plainly as I can, General. Every action, indeed every thought, General, sends vibrations through vast astral underpinnings. Your earliest work on this project, just a few short years ago, began sending out ominous destructive vibrations. Your project, if left unchecked, will greatly unbalance the natural order of your entire quantum world. Repercussions which amplified over time. General, you've spent a king's ransom to build this bomb. I predict you will spend 10,000 king's ransoms defending yourself against the very thing you create.
Nonsense. Look around. Hitler and Hirohito, they're the ones destroying the world, and our soldiers are being killed in battle. We are doing God's work here.
I agree.
Oh, come on now.
It is said, General, that every person must live with the consequences of his or her actions. It's karma.
God willing, we will be the ones to deliver Japan's karma right to their doorstep in spades.
You should know better than any man in this room, General. Vengeance only leads to counter-vengeance. Is this the chain reaction you would seek to ignite? I tell you this. If you proceed, gentlemen, your most powerful foe will steal your research, and before the ashes cool from your atomic explosions, your enemy will have bombs of his own.
May I inquire, Diogenes, since you seem to know everything? If we abandon our project, then will not Signore Hitler build it, no? Will not the Nazis have the only bomb?
The Jews among you know the answer to that. The German atomic program went up the chimneys of Buchenwald and Auschwitz.
This is correct. The Nazi mind cannot abide the Jewish theory that E equals MC squared.
Mio Dio. In that case, if Germany is nearly defeated, and if Emperor Hirohito is a cooked goose, perhaps there is no compelling need for our atom bomb, no actual...
We intend to deliver history right here, gentlemen, and we will succeed.
Ah, yes, how right you are, General, and it is enough to bring an old woman to tears. This compulsion among scientists to create history is precisely what will bring the end of history. I must say now what I have come to say. I, Diogenes, declare that if a single man among you will liberate himself from this juggernaut of destruction, then that single man will unleash a force more powerful than your atom bomb, than any atom bomb.
What?
He will unleash the force of intuitive conscience.
A single man? Can you mean it?
Know this, Dr. Oppenheimer. One awakened scientist will in time inspire 10 to abandon experiments with germ warfare. These 10 will inspire 100 to cease their search for poisons, which could enter the food supply. 1,000 more researchers will follow their example. A single gong, loudly struck now, will reverberate through generations to come. Gentlemen, your project seeks to create a critical mass, does it not? I, too, seek a critical mass among the most gifted scientists of this age, a critical mass of awakened conscience. Yes, for the sake of stirring even a single soul, I have come. Is it you, General Groves? Will you convince the president to fight his war by other means?
You know what? I like you, Diogenes. You speak your mind, and you're no dummy. If this world wasn't being ripped apart by madmen, I'd be highly reluctant to bring a terrible new weapon like this online. But listen up, lady. I'd rather tell Roosevelt to bugger a Missouri mule than go anything but full speed ahead on his mission.
Yeah, you tell him.
That's it.
Then what about you, Dr. Oppenheimer? Will you find your conscience amid all this clamor of pride and ambition?
Now look here. If you really are as omnipotent as you suggest, then surely you can simply end this war by yourself. Right here and now.
It is not for me to intervene, Doctor. It is a matter of free will. You can only save yourselves.
Well then, better the earth be ruled by cockroaches than by monsters such as Hitler and Stalin. My conscience could not be clearer.
Then perhaps you, Dr. Chadwick.
We cannot halt science for fear that others will be compelled to misuse it. We would still be living in caves then, yes?
What about you, Dr. Teller?
There is no moral issue here.
Dr. Meitner? Feynman? Hirschfelder? Von Neumann? Will you follow the dictates of your hearts? No? Then have I wasted my breath?
Pardon me, Diogenes. I am Dr. Joseph Rothblatt. I am atomic physicist. That is, I was until this moment. You see, gentlemen, with the help of this stranger, I believe this person has spoken to me in voice of Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger? Oh, my aching ass.
Go ahead, Rothblatt.
Thank you, Dr. Oppenheimer. I pass no judgment on anyone. But I cannot remain here at Los Alamos. I see now a new purpose in my life.
Surely, Rothblatt. The only purpose of a scientist is to advance the course of knowledge.
Respectfully, Dr. Fermi, how can you trust your own Italian ministers, or indeed any heads of state, or businessmen, or generals, or anyone to steer the course of science?
Now look here, Rothblatt.
But Joseph, history is our master here. It is history which determines the course of mankind's discovery.
Then is not history blind? History is brutal. History is insincere. History is self-serving. History, my friends, makes slaves of us all.
Well, I certainly don't agree with
This weapon we build, tell me, what is it for? To destroy warships or tanks or bombers? No. One thing only it is for, to destroy cities. Whole cities. Cities filled with innocent peoples, our fellow citizens of this world.
But you must listen, Doctor. Every day innocent people are placed in the middle of battles. Don't you see? It is for the very lack of our weapon that these innocent people are dying, for the lack of a bomb too terrible to use.
That's fine, Chadwick. Let's stay on the point here.
For lack, you say, of this bomb, whose sole use is to destroy cities? Is it not a genocide we talk about?
Mein Gott, Rothblatt, get hold of yourself.
Do we not labor here day and night to invent a new Auschwitz? An Auschwitz in a canister to be dropped from the sky? And is there such a terrible thing even in Auschwitz as the unimaginable horrors of nuclear radiation? I leave you now with one more thought, one that has troubled me for years. We have all signed an oath of secrecy to work in this place. Physicians, they have their own oath, their Hippocratic oath. But scientists, where is our Hippocratic oath? Our oath to do no harm. In this briefcase are all of my notebooks and calculations. I need them no longer. I shall leave this Los Alamos laboratory.
The hell you will. Sit down, Roadblot. Nobody's leaving this room.
I am afraid I must come and go as my conscience dictates, General.
May I remind you that when you all signed that oath of allegiance, you signed away the right to leave this place. Nobody leaves.
You would stand in my way?
Oh, I'm definitely standing here, Doctor.
In that corner behind you, General, that flag gives me right to speak mind. And your oath as well is to that flag.
You are not listening, Roadblot. Every swinging dick in this room knows too much about this project.
So, you would make of this laboratory a prison camp?
You want me to spell it out, Roadblot? You walk out that door and I'll have you deported in a heartbeat before you have time to pack a change of skivvies. You get that picture, Roadblot? Deportation and likely a real damn prison camp.
I tell you, General, that flag gives me a right to go as I please. Already the best part of me is in prison camp in Mudonic. Not an hour passes when I am not in Mudonic camp. You can do no worse to me.
Is that a fact? Corporal, place this man under arrest.
Please, General, I beg of you with respect. We must let this man go.
Come, Joseph. You have a chain reaction to start, one that will alter the world.
But how can I do this? I am no hero. I have no white stallion, no silver bullets.
Your example is your stallion, Joseph, and your words are your silver bullets. Remember your humanity in all your strivings. Remember your humanity and forget all the rest.
A fantasy, you say? For the sake of a single soul, can it be possible? You have been listening to tales from time, space, and the unknown world of the future. The world of...
Dimension X, 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 X.
Now, stay tuned after our brief intermission for the second of tonight's original radio on the air radio plays. Don't you know me, Joe?